I love that little added touch.
That uppercut's super for film where we drop the hand and we really swing versus like a real uppercut is real tight.
But it's really cool because when you see in the in-game,
Yeah.
how much of the details they have with your finger textures in your hands too.
I tried making like all of the characters' hand textures just different. For Kung Lao is here versus Smoke could be here. That jump split kick. So I think it's front punch, elbow into the jump spin kick. Both legs are fully extended out. Traditional Taekwondo or Tang Soo Do schools, when they do a jump spin kick, their bottom leg is chambered. The glasses!
Oh,
Yeah,
so pretty.
that's it.
First elbow going in.
First
Yep.
elbow, and boom, hit. Back into Johnny Cage stance. This kick is a little bit different than a lot of the other kicks. We call it a pop, where both of our feet plant together and we jump up with both of our legs. Where a lot of Taekwondo style kicks, you typically chamber with one leg at a time. So left knee comes up, right leg kick. So it's usually like a 1-2 movement where this is both together. And boom.
Damn.
Good fall, Brendan.
Brendan's backfall is one of the quietest backfalls I've ever heard.
My landing on my kick is louder than his fall,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
So if you watch slowly how he's falling, he's catching himself on the tricep. So he goes up, catches himself on that forearm to tricep to absorb that energy. Then it goes up to his lower back and he follows that momentum when he falls down and disperses it all over the floor. Whoa!
This one was you, baby.
Yeah, this one was fun. Yeah, he has a front arm, upwards elbow, double elbow back into a flash kick.
How was that double elbow back? Because you're so tight in your
I'm
shoulders
so
and
tight,
chest.
dude. I always talk about my shoulder mobility
It's a thing in our group.
because he's always like, "Oh, Ted, can't you just bring it back?" And
Yeah,
I'm
bring
like,
it back a little bit more.
My,
He's like,
my mobility's bad. I gotta do all these little movements for myself. And
Dude.
with the shades on.
With the
Let's
shades.
go.
yeah!
Yeah. So you go into that frontwards elbow, like double back elbow, and then that backflip is, the kick is actually called a flash kick. And what it is your feet come together, you do a backflip, and at the end, you think of it as a front kick coming down, and you're landing on that kicking leg. But in the video game, it's actually interesting because that back leg that's tucked in also counts as a hit too.
Right.
Yeah.
Dot, dot.
Yeah.
I really wish the animators would have let me done Johnny Cage's movements in the game. I did not get to do Johnny Cage in the actual game. I was so butthurt about it.
Yeah, but you got the bromance with him.
I do.
Kenshi, yeah.
That would have been weird if I was Kenshi and Johnny Cage. Actually.
That's true, yeah.
But I'm still salty about it. Let me be Johnny Cage and MK2. So yeah, this is a palm strike hit. He does like kind of a scoot in, like a slide up overhand hook into that Superman hook. I love doing that move. Boom.
Shoot to the crowd.
I'm so dumb, Jesus.
Boom, palm strike.
Bam.
Bam.
I love getting that floatiness on
Yeah.
that Superman where you like open, that stall, and then you smack him down. Bang!
In the most simplest term, how would you describe how to stall yourself in the air? I think like what looks so cool in the float is that you have that picture perfect frame where you pause for like a second. Then you
Yeah,
come down,
I want you to see what you're about to get hit by before you get hit by Johnny Cage. Ah! Doosh. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Just mastery. Literally, just yell like, "Float more!" I'm like, "Okay, sir." Ah! So he's doing like a spinning axe kick, but he's dropping down on that last hit, like kind of like a push kick almost. So it's very different style of doing that kick I've never done. So that was fun for me to recreate something that I haven't done before. So it's the same type of back punch, front punch, low round, spinning axe kick stomp, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah! The selfie! The selfie! I love that little added touch.
That low round too isn't really like a traditional like Muay Thai like low round. He kind of like does the roundhouse kick and then scoops his leg in a little bit. So it's just a little different, but I mean, it reads really well. It's like a slide up knee, elbow, front uppercut.
I love the energy you feel on his downwards elbow.
Yeah.
And how his other arm is pulling back to really show the silhouette.
Yeah, because it's so easy to get that other arm like stacked with your
Yeah,
body.
and then you won't be able to see that back arm.
Johnny Cage has a lot of Muay Thai like inspo in this type of movements, which makes a lot of sense because if you look at Van Damme kickboxer, there was a lot of kickboxing Muay Thai inspiration from his previous movies. So whoever did Johnny Cage, you just killed it, man. Slide at me.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, and just making that uppercut, like that uppercut's super for film where we drop the hand and we really swing so you can really see this beautiful arc versus like a real uppercut is real tight, just a shovel hook here, boom, and we're back in. We would never like elongate. So in fighting, you can see that a mile away, but it looks so great in video there. Poor Brandon's Kung Lao.
Yeah,
Let's go.
boy.
The master of the hat.
Whew! That ridge hand, bro. That overhand ridge hand.
So it's a back fist, rear ridge hand, front uppercut. So keeping that stance constantly, back fist, ridge hand, and then keeping that rear hand open because the habit is to keep it closed.
Can we talk about your finger textures? Look at how pretty they are, man. We gotta zoom in on that.
No.
Just right there. Ooh, right there.
Fingers.
Little hand motions and stuff like that.
Yeah, what is it? What is it like?
Right here.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because when you see in the in game,
Yeah.
how much of the details they have with your finger textures in your hands too.
I tried making like all of the characters' hand textures is different. For Kung Lao is here versus Smoke could be here. Yeah, I did like a palm, another palm, elbow hit. Oh, it's closed off. It's this elbow that I like doing. Into the spinning double palm.
What are you grabbing on that underneath right there, man?
It's
Feel
not.
it. When he does it in the air, I feel it, dog.
Feel it where?
Yeah, I feel it. Here, in my heart.
Oh, in your heart.
In my heart.
Hit, elbow.
Oh, dang, that recoil.
Yeah, I know in the game he doesn't do it that hard. I don't know why I did that. I think I just wanted to give more emphasis, but he doesn't do it like that hard.
Yeah, I love how much of like even just going into our stances, how much that's translated into our martial arts when we come back home in training.
Yeah.
So even just like movements wise, we're so used to just hit.
Yeah.
And you always want to hit, relax, soft.
Yeah.
Here, yeah.
Punch.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to do it, man.
Try it. Overhand knife.
Side aerial.
Yeah. Overhand knife, jumping knee. Overhand, jumping knee. Back into stance. Ooh, flick the brim.
Yeah.
Back into guard. Love it. Yeah. Hit, jumping knee. And there we go. That style of jumping knee is better to do when you do it as a pop, so both legs jump up together, and you hit with the knee and land back.
Maybe I should wear a wig, just like an ombak. Just in that knee and just
As long as I can put a pad in it.
Yeah, just put a pad in it.
Yeah.
Oh! Let's go.
I remember doing this move in studio and setting on T-pose, hitting that pose, and then going into the rolling punches that I use from Wing Chun, hitting the final, going into stance. It was crazy to hear them say, Noah, you're probably the fastest martial artist that's ever been in our studio. And I was like, what? Hit, rolling punches, and hit back in the stance, and Ted's fall. Love that fall, Ted. That was great. Hit, pop, 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 hit, and back into stance. Beautiful.
So good.
Okay, this one was a little tricky. I definitely remember doing it in studio, and they said that it's a forward roll, but the trailing leg acts as an axe kick, and it comes out as a strike. And I remember trying to do it. I think they literally just said that they can manipulate my leg and extend it out a little bit more, just so it reads as a hit. I think it worked pretty well when we recreated it.
Yeah, it looked vicious.
Okay.
But I really love on your low side kick.
Yeah.
That even for like a half second, just stick.
Yeah,
And
low
by
bis
stick is just holding it out there just to show for camera.
Yeah,
Because a
just
lot of
feel
times
it.
you see it snap, bring it back, and that's
Too fast.
That reads too fast. So I really love how you see that stick bring back. Oof. Let's go. And a push in.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about this like axe kick press down, but I'm pretty sure the animators manipulated my leg a little sooner to come up so you can see the trail. My leg's slightly bent, just one of those weird moves that you don't really practice or train. All right, throw in the kusarigama, pulling it back and whipping it down was the first hit. Now, mind you, half of these moves in studio, we would do without the actual weapon. So there were a few, I think the throw, I pretended to throw the weapon. So I would still hold it. So I would throw, pull back, and then actually swing on that one. So we got the realism of the coming back here. So that was interesting to do. All right, let's see how we actually did the movements now. We just makeshifted a Kusarigama. We just made our own hit and
that was a smooth circle. That was a perfect circle.
The circle's cool. The way I grabbed it at the end is kind of...
That's a hard weapon because I remember I tried it.
Yeah.
I had the most toughest time with it.
Dude, it's so weird. Scorpion is just so good at using it. Throw and hit. Good reaction, Ted. The timing was good. And then back into that. So technically, the front hand should actually be open in his stance. I had to keep it closed so I could hold the damn rope. But I think in game, it's attached to his hip. Fun video game things to real life things that you have to compensate for. Ooh, you already know that freaking skip back kick.
That looks familiar to
me. So he's doing 2 strikes first. He's throwing, overhand strike, skip back kick. If you guys don't know, my favorite kick is the jump back kick or any type of back kick. So let's see us recreate this move. All right, throw, overhand step, back kick. Damn, look at that back fall. Shout out Brendan.
Let's go,
Great
Brendan.
job. We do the first throw, overhand step, back kick, and hit. And then always land into that breathing pose that Scorpion has. So we debated if I should use the weapon or not for Gamology. I thought it'd be fun to use the weapon, but it takes away a little bit of my ability to like pull with some emphasis. So I can't do that pull because I'm actually pulling the rope. So I'll probably over pull it. It'll go flying back and I've just messed up the whole freaking thing. I still think it looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's a little bit easier to not use the weapon and just play make pretend in the studio. Fun facts.
Oh, the infamous dagger
Get
throw.
over here. Yup. So I think we focused more. Did we do both of them?
Yeah, we did both of them.
We did both of them. So we did the first move where I just throw. So it's just the movement and then the pull. And then the second one was the dash forward, cut to the stomach, yank the blade, and then the HK spin out fall. So let's watch the recreations of it. Oh, this is the pull. Dude, that was awesome, Brendan.
Good.
So cool.
Standing over him too.
Yep, gotta have that posture, so it's pull through. And see how I yank the rope? Like I could literally just pull it, but I try to show that it's a whole body movement when you're pulling. It reads on camera great. And it actually looks like I pulled him with the blade doing that. When in reality, Brendan did all the work. Yeah, it's all acting.
I love the little details on his feet, how it just ice comes out, like sliding forward. And that's a pretty good bodybuilding move right there.
I remember watching Carlos in studio do that move. So Sub-Zero and Scorpion, half of them were already done by Carlos because of COVID. So I finished the other half of the moves. This was one that I definitely did. But since it was my first time in studio, I think right away I did Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Those are the first 2. So I had to watch Carlos do a lot of the movements. And I can just see Carlos doing that. It's freaking crazy. And then I went and copied him and did that.
Is that a technique in martial arts to have the other one down?
It's just like a resting pose. So like instead of it being like chambered, you want to see a little bit of the silhouette of the other arm. And it just like feels like a powerful move, but it's definitely not like a block.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's watch us recreate it. Yup, that's it.
Nice.
Yup, the first hit is a strong, powerful hit, spin, and hit. That left arm is just kind of there, strong, but it's really on that back fist and then back in the stance. This one was fun. So it was this ice move where I flourish, hit, and then I go into that, what was it, the low hit or middle hit here, spinning back fist, and then I did Sub-Zero spin kick. So this was more interesting to do with Sub-Zero because they wanted a more intense, stronger Sub-Zero than before, because usually he's softer throughout the games. I had to blend that, so it's like that soft into the strong hit. So let's watch us recreate that one. Boom, hit, spin, and spin kick. Boom, back into stance. For Sub-Zero, I wanted to slow down his spin kick. I like his kicks being a little bit slower because the other characters I went way super fast. But yeah, that flow, you see the ice come, hit, and spin kick. Yep, and Teddy with the bang. Okay, I think this one was just straight kicks. Sweep kick, spin kick, spin kick, sweep kick. So it was 4 kicks, and then I get the hammer. That hammer move was so weird to do in studio because you're kicking and spinning one direction, and just think about, they literally were like, it's just gonna magically appear in your hand, and you're just gonna swipe down. This is a weird swiping movement that like doesn't feel right. So I'm like, hopefully it works. Let's watch me recreate it. It did work. They used it.
Yeah.
Sweep, spin kick, spin kick,
spinning.
sweep, into, boom. Yeah, when you like pick it up and he does the reaction, it does look like he fell from this ice pick thing. Oh, you did this one.
Yeah.
I had Teddy do this one for the recreation.
Up, round, low side.
For that slide, what we did is we put a mat down in the studio, and I literally just had to like butt slide and do the kick, so I get a little bit of movement.
I had trouble in the studio.
Dude, it was so hard. That slide is just so difficult to do in real life because it's about what you're wearing, the materials, and the friction of the floor.
Let's see how we recreated it.
So what did you end up doing?
So what I ended up doing is just round, coming down to my knee, just almost like
you made your transition from the top going low. The slide.
So I thought about boom, boom.
Where in the game, I think Sub-Zero goes down and then slides
his foot
across.
down and then slides. Yeah. And you see the ice coming out.
To recreate it though, this looked great. I think this looks good.
It was awesome. Yeah, real fun.
Yeah, that was so sick. Front punch, front uppercut, jumping round.
Is it almost the leopard when you uppercut?
Yeah, so a lot of his front hits, I'll do like either a leopard punch or just like loose, like open hand hitting with the knuckles. So it's one front upper and then rear leg jumping roundhouse kick.
They got your shoulder disconnection.
You see
that?
it?
Yeah, that's so cool. That little detail, how loose, that little whip right there.
Versus what do normal people do? No way, come on. People just like throw the uppercut.
Yeah.
I can't stop that. I just,
There's
that
like
shoulder
that,
detachment.
it's so different, but just.
Yeah, it helps give a little bit of a concussive energy when you're hitting something to disconnect and have that looseness.
Looks great on camera too, even just on mocap as well, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Teddy.
Oh, recoil.
All right.
Everyone likes a little recoil.
Oh,
that jump round kick was so snappy.
Damn! That was pretty spicy. Boom.
It's like a finger, but upper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real cool.
Oh.
That recoil, the re-chamber back.
Yeah.
How you keep it tight back.
No, I don't.
Most drops right here, but if you see in the video how it re-chambers back super tight. It's like your heel's almost touching your booty.
Stop it, Teddy.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, that was it. Tail whip right there. I had so much fun doing that.
I literally had to do that in studio where they're like, okay, this one you're gonna have to turn around and tail whip. I was like, you mean with like run around and like use my butt to hit them? They're like, yes. I do it, and they're like a little bit more, and it looks great. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to do this one. Yep. Let's see him do it.
Let's see how I do it. Throw strike right there, jumping knee. Full bending. So it worked. It worked.
Oh, that's
it's
so
almost like a
funny.
throat strike, right? It's
yeah.
like a claw to the throat, then
claw
jumping
hit.
knee.
So what Ted did actually, I love it for the video. It looks great, but we did it a little bit different. You did a full 360 butt spin.
Yeah.
I remember having to do a 180 and then stepping forward with it. So it was like a 1-2 step.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. It looks great. I could totally see the tail.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sick.
So again, I did the ninja form of Reptile, but Chris McClure did the animal version of Reptile in studio. So it was super cool to see me start the combos. I would do the blending movement, but they would fly Chris in and then he would just do that ending movement there. So I did the full thing for the recreation just for the video, but when we were actually doing it, that's how it was made. So it was so fun to see. All right, let's watch this recreate. So side kick, claw, back into stance, yeah.
Look at that control on that side kick. Boom. Right on the forearm, boom.
Was it actually right on his forearm?
It was right on his forearm.
Did I give him a little baby tap?
No, not even a tap, it was just air.
Yeah, give him a little baby tap. That's that control full extension.
Damn.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I would be really the first 2.5 movements. So it would be me here, and then they would blend Chris's, because his chest, Chris is a bigger guy than me too. So he's built very differently than I am, and it looks great for the animalistic movements. So you just see that enlargement of that last claw hit coming back into stance. So cool. Let's go! I had so much fun doing Liu Kang. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for this one, we broke it down where Liu Kang needs a back punch. You can't really see it unless you like freeze frame and slow it down. But I gave him, his guard is a tiger claw on the bottom and what we call a phoenix punch or phoenix fist on top here. So he does a backhand phoenix punch to their solar plexus, stealing their soul into a high side kick all the way up.
Would you say that almost like a phoenix punch? Because I've seen like when we do like peekaboo style, it's almost the same as.
Yeah, there's a little bit of over rotation,
Yeah.
a little bit just to give that boxing Tyson style movement. So again, this is a combination of peekaboo style boxing where I drop down into that overhand hit here. We have the texture of Kung Fu in the hands, and then we have Taekwondo kick. So it's a literal combination of 3 different styles in this one movement here. Oh! Let's go! Damn! Oh, that was so clean.
Dude, that's a 11 o'clock sidekick.
Oh,
That was so smooth.
I had so much fun doing Liu Kang. Liu Kang's probably my favorite character I got to mocap for. I think he's #1 because I just went off on all my kicks with Liu Kang. So I did a roundhouse spin kick, but it's kind of like a skipping round into spin kick. Or some school would call it like a jumping round spin kick, whatever you want to call it.
Throw that round kick, and before you don't set it on the ground, you rechamber to turn that hips over into that spin hook kick.
Yeah, in studio, the way I did this was literally the way that we're gonna do it. I just had Carlos hold 2 paddles for me here.
So you know it's good.
Round,
Bam.
spin kick, back into stance here. Yup.
Yep.
One and done, baby. One and done. There are certain moves where I have to just do it in the air. There are certain moves where it does help having a kick paddle, having some kind of contact, and it really helps the impact of the move and give me a little bit more accuracy. I've also been kicking paddle since I was 4. So it's like, it just helps with a lot of my movements, especially if I'm doing a lot of my jump back kicks or flying side kicks, having the pole to hit off of. Sometimes they need to see the recoil of the hit against something solid and watching me bounce off of it and land. That reverb with the body landing, they need to see that in game. So it does help hitting a solid target.
Yeah, and we'll see it more in the future recreations that we do coming up right here, because there were some movements that you had to do it on the Wave Master, which was still, and one where you have it on me because you have to push off me.
Yeah.
I have to give that little umph for him.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
That is a triple roundhouse kick, right, left, right. That is so signature to Olympic style Taekwondo. I love doing those kicks into a slide up side kick at the end.
I love how he has a little yell on each of the round kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Slide up side kick is so sick. I think I did this one on a pull in studio. Oh man, that side kick is so sticky. It's also the rechamber afterwards. 1, 2, 3, side kick, bring it in, and into say, what were you doing?
I was being Natara.
Oh. This is a triple roundhouse kick into a slide up side kick.
So what would you say would be the difference having someone be a pad holder versus having, like, on the studio you have the pole with the padded stuff on it?
The big difference, I think I did both. I mean, again, I filmed this in 2020, 2021, it's a while ago. But I think I did both variations because we needed to see my hips turn and hit contact. So imagine if Liu Kang isn't really able to move in game for whatever reason and he's just making contact. We need to see that. But most of this combination is traveling. So I do need to have a pad holder moving with me. So you see my body travel as the kick is happening. And then the slide up side kick has to happen too. I can't do that full combo just with the pull, but I definitely did that variation on the pull too.
Oh yeah.
Let's
go.
So we did the flying side kick and we did Liu Kang's new bicycle kick. The dancing dragon. So we did Liu Kang's flying side kick, which was heavily inspired by Bruce Lee. And we did the dancing dragon, which is the new version of the bicycle kick. And I specifically remember being in studio they're saying, hey, we're thinking about switching up Liu Kang's bicycle kick. Do you have anything that could replace it? And I was like, God damn, that's a big responsibility, okay. So I gave them this variation that they absolutely loved. So let's look at the Dancing Dragon. Is that what we're gonna call it from now on when we train? Dancing Dragon? Let's
hey, yo, bust out that Dancing Dragon.
Are we at the club?
And no. We're in the gym.
So the first one is the flying side kick. Let's rewind it one more time, thank you. So we do the flying side kick, that's the first piece of the Dancing Dragon. Then we do the jump back kick. Then we blend the idea and the movements of the spinning rotation in the air, and they blend each of those hits where it's 1, 2, hit, back into stance here. So it's a combination of like 3 or 4 different moves that we had to record and do. And really it was just like 1, maybe 2 variations of the kick, move on.
Excellent job, just blending all those kicks together.
Yeah,
it looks so beautiful.
They really did. So I'm pretty proud of how it all worked. I think understanding how motion capture works, especially for video games, I definitely had the idea of blending all the movements because I understood that that was a possibility. I know what a lot of the animators can and can't do. So I was like, hey guys, could we try this? And they're like, absolutely, let's freaking make it happen. He does a little bit of this Bok Mei Pai, like not snake style hit, but kind of is. It's a finger jab where he like loosens up on his movement where it's just hit, boom, into that Bruce Lee like shin check. Bruce Lee loves doing those kind of back leg checks here. And traditionally he'll do that into like a slide up side kick and hit them really hard. So there's little elements of Bruce Lee that I try to incorporate here aside from just mannerisms. All right, a little bit of that Bruce Lee. Oh, gee.
I love the little nose swipe you do though.
Yeah. Okay.
Smoke, let's go. He's my favorite.
Ted's been maining Smoke. Smoke was also one of my favorites I got to design for. I think out of every character I designed, I had the absolute most creative freedom doing Smoke. The really tricky part about doing Smoke in studio versus for Gamology, for real, is that there's a lot of make pretend, right? Actually holding the knife, we had to pretend a lot of the times that the karambit would switch hands. So I would literally hold a karambit in one hand, maybe it has to be in the rear hand, but I transition and then I get to come into stance here and do all that stuff.
My movement was more easier because if you see it on this one, it goes into like almost like that upward slice, and then it goes into the body slices down to the leg to sweep them. So it's all one hand. All the movements you got that you did, you had to physically switch it. So this one was a little bit more easier. The lines are more easier because it comes across towards the neck, body, then leg, right there. Smoke 2.
Yeah, let's get it.
It happens so quick, that switch drop.
Yeah, that switch is really tough.
Hits it, then drops it, catch.
So this one actually took us a few tries to get just because I was missing it and dropping it. It's so tough. But in studio, I would just pretend my left hand had a karambit and I would actually hold it in the right hand. So I would cut, pretend to catch, and now I'm holding it. And if I had to do any finger flips, I would actually just keep it in that right hand. So I definitely had to slow down my movements for this video just because I have to pretend. And I want you guys to actually see where the switches are happening. So this one actually took us a few tries to get. It is still very true to the style and feel of Silat, where in Kali and Silat, they use the left hand or the empty hand as the checking hand. So you see that a lot with Smoke, where if I'm cutting and hitting, I'm checking the body and cutting. So I'm guiding the body where I want the knife to go. A really simple idea of that is if Ted throws a punch and I have the karambit, it's this type of movement here. So going slow, the left hand checks and guides here. The right hand has the karambit and I'm cutting across here. Or if he wants to punch straight again, I can come up this way. So I'm guiding the hand, so that left hand's always really activated when we do Silat. So that's the fun part of Smoke.
I really love on your upward strike, you do that little finger roll.
Yeah.
Cut, finger, drag it into their body and roll it back up to their chin.
Yeah.
So good. Ooh!
I didn't throw a ton of kicks for Smoke, but when I did, try to make it count. So this one's a really fun one. It's called a tornado axe kick. A lot of people, when they do a tornado kick, they do it as a roundhouse kick because that's traditionally what's taught. I started asking like, what are the other ways we can do tornado kicks? Tornado push kick, tornado side kick. I just thought the tornado axe kick looked so dynamic for Smoke, so I wanted to make sure I could do that for him. Oi, come on. That's pretty spicy. Where you can see my left arm throw the blade up, catch, stab, and smack down. There we go.
I think the most fun that we have in training is when we take the most basic kicks and then we also try to implement it in different ways. So like a tornado kick, everyone always does it as a round kick.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, should we try it as a tornado axe kick? This time, let's try it as a tornado side kick.
Tornado Hawkeye.
Tornado Hawkeye. So it's really fun to try those little different variations.
All right, first up is Shang Tsung. You've been playing him a lot too, right?
He's super fun because he can morph into the enemy player too.
Dude, his whole backstory in the beginning of the game, the way they
So
set him up is so good, the storytelling. So the first combo that we have here is like a jumping round, but the jump is used as an attack with the knee chamber. So jumping round, so it's a 2-hit move. Into was a spin kick? Into spin kick, yeah. So typically the first knee on a jumping round isn't really used as an attack, but I think it's really unique that we do that here. So let's watch us recreate this one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Clean,
That was pretty snappy.
Yeah, boom.
Just dies, yeah. So on a jumping roundhouse kick, you typically try not to emphasize too much the first knee. I was trying to show a little bit more here. They might have blended the movements completely separate to really show the first knee and then blended a jumping roundhouse into the spin kick. But yeah, that's the way that I did that.
Could you just imagine being so powerful in another timeline that the gods have to nerf you?
That's
Shang Tsung, dog.
straight up.
He's that.
He's that. He has like a claw.
His claw has like these poisons on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like a poisonous Wolverine.
Yeah.
Love it. Is it back punch or
It's like a
claw?
overhand claw.
Uh-huh.
And uses that same hand to back punch.
Back fist.
Yeah. Boom.
Into low round. And he's
Yeah.
got that different style low round. It's he swings the roundhouse kick and then recoils and rechambers this way. So it almost acts like a hook, but it's not. Just a different way to do the low round. So let's watch us recreate this one. That's pretty much it.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Sorcery magic.
Sorcery magic. I wouldn't necessarily do a real low round this way. So typically in Muay Thai they do low rounds where they hold the pad and you just imagine, we call it chopping the tree down. You just hit that low round as hard as you can. If you don't have a partner, we usually do it as a swing through. So the leg almost stays completely straight and you swing the momentum almost in a full 360 all the way back. If not, you just land all the way across. That rechamber pull in doesn't really happen. I don't know any martial arts that does that.
I don't know either. The intention legit looks like they're flexing their foot to hook their leg or their thigh to pull in so they trip.
And a lot of martial arts do that,
Yeah.
where if you want to trip and hook the foot, you can do that. It's a little bit different, but they use it more as a low kick strike. So interesting.
That fall, I call it the grind on me.
The grind on me.
Ooh.
Woo! We did a slide up side kick into, it's kind of like a jump crescent kick, but I kind of did something that I don't think you've ever seen me do.
No, because usually on normal jump crescent kicks,
Yeah.
the front foot that's trailing over lands in the front position. But this one's very different because it goes all the way around and comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually personally like it a lot more because it looks more vicious because you have that more leg room of that pullback.
Yeah.
Boom.
Side kick. Pull down. Jeez. I don't know. I feel like mine looks a little crazier.
It's that.
What do you think? Yeah, I really tried to pull
Here's
it back.
the crazy part is if you look at it real closely, when you pull it back, you still have air. Before you land, you still have like,
So I do the kick here.
for Shang Tsung, when he does it, he lands into it right away.
Right.
Versus you already do it, and when you're in that neutral position,
Yeah.
there's a slight, you
Yeah.
still have that air. Pretty cool. Move forward.
Let's do it. So it's that back fist overhand claw, and what's really unique about Shang Tsung's back kick that I don't naturally do is he's doing the back kick and pulling back the kick into the normal stance. So usually when I do a back kick, I land forward in my back kicks. This is okay in very few scenarios for myself. Again, when we throw a roundhouse kick, like a Muay Thai style roundhouse kick, we tried to make contact with the body, and naturally, because I can't go all the way through his entire body, I come off of it. That recoil will pull me back into my normal stance. Typically for back kick, I like landing forward because it helps me set up for other attacks right away. I don't like that pullback. It's very, very rare if I end up doing that, but I think for the character design, it's a different back kick that we haven't seen, so it was great to do that. Back fist, overhand, back kick, pull back, and that's pretty much it.
Very nice.
And then in game, you were saying the back kick's a little bit lower,
Yeah,
right?
legit, it's a crotch hit. Shang Tsung, you doing them dirty, dog.
This one was Teddy.
Yep. Yeah, so that one, very interesting because it is a back tuck, but what's interesting is he's flying back more. Normally when they teach you a back tuck, they teach you to jump up and almost land in the same position. But it looks like, I think in the studio, they have a tramp where he jumps on the tramp, pushes off into a back tuck.
Is there a move for like, okay, so
a gainer
is a forward backflip.
A forward backflip.
So what's a backwards backflip?
Most people think it's a backflip because the habit is to go backwards.
Yeah.
When it's actually you gotta jump up and do the flip. This would be like backyard trying to learn how to do your backflip and then you land onto your knees.
Backyard tricking.
Backyard tricking, you know.
Love that. Let's watch Ted recreate this one. All right, here we go.
Back tuck, superhero landing, back pose.
Love it.
Yeah.
Flip.
Simple,
down.
simple. And then the nails come out.
Yep.
Impalement.
Sick. You do go backwards though, so that's good.
Yeah, so that one I was trying to go more backwards.
Is it awkward for you to do that?
No, it's just
it's casually. No, it's not. It's not hard.
That easy. Actually, a backflip is easier than doing a front flip.
I agree.
Yeah, because
1000%.
Most people would think the front flip is easier. But in the back flip, when you're going over, you can spot the floor. So you know if you're gonna land or not, you can put your hands out. On a front flip, you're coming all the way up and you can't see if your feet are gonna land. There's been times when I try to learn how to do a front flip. I'll land and then my butt will touch the floor, my leg will bounce up and I'll knee myself in the face.
Another way you can knock your teeth out, right?
Absolutely.
Rising kicks and front flips.
Yep, that's how you learn, dog.
Jeez. Moving on to the next one.
This is our boy.
Kenshi, let's go.
Kenshi.
It's pretty cool to see my face on Kenshi and the movements. It's pretty surreal. So this movement was really fun where it's a front hand hit. It uses the sheath to hit, does the low sweep, which is a weird low sweep. Most sweeps that we do, it's a full 360, very much like a spin kick, where we do the entire spin. For this one, I had to land forward, couldn't use my hands to get up, and then go into an upwards cut there.
Blue kind of looked like Tanjiro with the water style.
Let's go water breathing, baby.
Yep.
And cut.
Nice, nice.
Yep. So from the top, one more time, I do the front hit, back sweep, reset, and upwards cut. I could have made my footwork just a little bit smoother, but it was really hard because both my hands had to be on the sword to prep the cut.
From that sweep where you're having your legs locked out,
legs are completely
transferring
wide.
your weight to go to the front,
Yeah.
into that front stance, upward strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenshi number 2. Front elbow, strike across, upward slash. 1, cross, upward, back in the guard.
So sick.
Yeah. All right, let's watch us recreate this one. Front elbow, slice, upward cut. I remember doing this in studio and even on the day where I gave my cuts really fast, precise, and clean. But if I slow it down just a little bit more where I like trail the sword and bring it back in the stance, you can see it, appreciate the cut even more, which is really fun.
So we were flower the swords a lot with our wrists to make sure to show these figure eights, and it's very pretty.
Which is like very Filipino, Indonesian, Chinese style influenced.
The developers and the animators, they were talking about to show more leading with your elbow.
Yeah.
So it feels more strong.
Yep. So I had to rechange and train Japanese sword work literally just for this. Make sure that my movements felt stronger. Lead with the elbow, not the wrist, guys. upward strike,
Oh,
downward
yeah.
strike, the low sweep down.
Yep.
I remember in studio, I struggled a little bit with that low cut because the sword would come across too much where I needed to just place the sword while spinning down, stop the momentum, and then bring it back up into guard. Glad that I was able to get it on the day.
Yeah.
I remember being able to transition that. But even that backspin was so difficult.
It's
to
very
learn.
interesting because you're going forward into your momentum, and so you would think you're going forward and you follow that momentum,
Yeah.
but you turn the opposite way into
Yeah.
that back sweep. And the crazy part is how straight his front foot is on that low sweep. Usually I feel like it'd be nice to keep it tucked,
Yeah.
but personally me,
Yeah.
I keep it tucked.
Personally me,
Kenshi
personally you.
puts it out there.
Yeah.
Personally you, personally me.
That ended up looking really pretty. Upward cut, cut, yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, on that third spin, I really want to go the other way. That's the fun part of doing really cool combos, is it's like breaking the rhythm of something is actually really enjoyable. And I think it's kind of the same with music as well too. When you're learning how to play music or you're listening to a song, when there's a moment where the rhythm changes in a complete different way that you didn't anticipate, it instantly catches your attention. When it becomes predictable, you subconsciously know what's going to happen. It's the same in actual fighting, where if I'm sparring with somebody and moving with them, I'm baiting them with the rhythm that I'm trying to create. They're expecting 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, hold back, 3, boom. They're expecting that third one to come in a lot sooner, hold, and then hit with the hook. That idea of rhythm breaking is really fun to see with Kenshi in the game. Check side back kick. So there are a lot of different names for this kick. I call it a check side back kick. The reason that we call that check side back kick is the first move is a side kick, but we think of it as a check. Meaning when I'm sparring, I'm using that move just to get their hands where I want them here. And a lot of people drop their hands for that first kick. And the second kick is the delivery attack. That's the back kick. So check side into the back kick. Let's watch us recreate that one. I wanted to give a little bit of a different variation to my back kick for Kenshi. So traditionally for me, I always end up doing a back kick where I punch the kick and I rechamber the movement back here. Where Kenshi does this double hit where it's dush, dush, and it drops down into stance. So 1, 2 drops down into stance.
I really love how like you dirtied up those kicks.
Does it look dirty to you? It might look pretty to them still.
It's very pretty, but to us, the way how we train,
Yeah.
we're training where we stick, then rechamber back, having that knee up, then bringing it down.
And it works because the back kick lands straight into that back stance. And that's the beauty of a lot of these kicks is doing the kick is one thing, but landing it directly into stance without readjusting my feet, that's a huge part of the job, is that I have to land into as perfect of a stance as possible every time we're filling in studio for developing MK1, actually in motion capture. 1, 2, right into stance, and that would be a completely usable take in MK1.
Yeah, that back kick legit be looking like a battering ram.
That's the idea, baby. The infamous question mark kick.
Yeah.
So question mark kick is used commonly in kickboxing or Muay Thai, a lot more of those kickboxing style martial arts. The question mark kick here, they use it as a front kick where it delivers damage and goes over the top where it delivers a second piece of damage. So it's a 2-hit combo. The question mark kick traditionally in sparring isn't used that way. The first kick is a baiting kick where if I'm sparring with Ted, I use the front kick to bait his front hand to come down. I'm baiting him so he has his guard, he sees the kick, and then it goes over the top right there where his hands drop down. I come up over and bam, there's the knockout hit. So 1, 2, right over the top. So it's a version of the roundhouse kick where the roundhouse kick comes sideways, right? We come here and we bring it back, or we kick all the way through, but it lives on this linear line here that's parallel to the floor. I think of it that way, where the question mark kick goes up and it chambers up and down. And the really hard part for me in game, my question mark kick is a little bit too high for a real question mark kick in fighting, meaning I'm telegraphing my movement. Somebody that can actually fight will see my movements. But for the video game, we need to see my knee position come up higher, very much like an axe kick. The higher the kick, the more damage you can see the kick is going to deliver in game. When I did the kick in studio, they were like, hey, no, we need to go up a little higher. So that's another interesting thing where you're thinking about real life versus film work.
Very nice.
Favorite one, favorite move, what do you think?
I Favorite move. Oh my goodness. I mean, I love Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
I love Kenshi. I'm a Kenshi kid at heart.
Kenshi kid for
I'm
life?
a Kenshi kid for life.
Comment if you're a Kenshi kid for life.
Are you a Kenshi kid? Right downward to that low sweep. There's so much swagger into that. I'm a Kenshi kid for life. So comment down below if you guys are a Kenshi kid.
Let us know. Having that katana, working on basic, clean, simple strikes and making it feel real with the movements. But I think what would be really cool is if we did Kenshi and Sento movements in the next experts try. So let us know if you guys want to see that in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe to Gamology.
We got a live Kenshi action film on Noah's YouTube channel, so go check that out.
And if you guys want to train with me online, go to OSU Films, osfilms.com, and work out with me. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Os.